The United States has great strength and patience, but if it is forced to defend itself or its allies, we will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea. Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself and for his regime.
U.S. President Donald Trump used his first UN address to double down on what he said he'd do about North Korea. It's because we did hear from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau today about this. He was actually asked to comment at the same time that Trump was speaking. He was giving a news conference at the National Press Theatre. So he hadn't heard Trump's speech, but a reporter told him about this threat of destruction and asked him to respond. So let's all listen to what the Prime Minister had to say.
I share everyone's concern over the reckless behavior by the North Korean regime, and continue to believe that working with partners and allies in the region and around the world, including China, Japan, South Korea, and the United States, is the best way to de-escalate this situation, which is a danger not just to the region, but to global peace.
Ian, let's go to you. What do you think about that? Does it matter what Canada says right now?
Well, that's a carefully worded diplomatic statement, which is exactly what you would expect a world leader to put forward, and that is not obviously what Donald Trump puts forward into the world. Which is why I sort of want to go back to a comment that Josh made, which is, let's dig into this. Just because somebody wrote The Art of the Deal and just because somebody's in business is actually, I think we're now discovering means that they're probably unqualified to be that diplomatic force. They don't have that form of training. They come at negotiations from an incredibly different point of view. Business people don't tend, frankly, to make the best diplomatic negotiators. We take a look at some of the best diplomatic successes and some of the most incredible moments in soft power. They rarely involve people like Donald Trump, Jared Kushner, or the whole gang that sits there in the White House. And that's concerning, of course, when you have somebody like the North Korean dictator. But, I want to dig into what Yolande said as well. Economic sanctions aren't working because they aren't being applied appropriately. True. When we take a look at South Korea, they have fed this problem to a large degree themselves. North Korea has moved much more towards a quasi-Chinese capitalist style state than, frankly, economic sanctions should have allowed. They are afraid. They tend to placate North Korea far more often than they should. And when you take a look at the amount of luxury materials currently entering North Korea, it's unacceptable. And a lot of these materials have alternate uses, and they are obviously being put to use to create further reaching weaponry, which again is totally and completely unacceptable. China has a large role to play in this as well. So, we need these soft powers to be working together on a solution. And sadly, I guess Donald Trump wants to attempt to use as much hard power as possible, but with rhetoric that simply is a little odd, to say the least.